Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, I hope you guys are fired up. I know I certainly am. Let's get going. Let's dive in. This is the AI Cashflow Masterclass, everybody. We're here to break down how to stack $1,000 to $3,000 per month deals predictably. I think we can all agree over the last year, AI has exploded. Heck, over the last 6 weeks, AI has exploded. Everybody's playing with tools, everybody's posting screenshots, everybody's talking about prompts. But here's the strange part that I feel like nobody is really talking about. For something that is supposedly creating a massive opportunity, there are surprisingly very few people actually making real money with this. I'm not talking about likes, I'm not talking about screenshots. I mean, real deals, real clients, real cash flow. And today, I'm going to be showing you something very specific, how people inside my circle are stacking $1,000 to $3,000 AI deals in a way that is actually predictable. So before we start, if you are here because you want the AI boom to become income, not just another tool, type a yes in the chat. Jim Park, yes, lots of yeses. Michelle, okay, fantastic. I see the chat lighting up. Feel free to drop questions in there as we go. My team and I, we are keeping an eye on it. We're going to circle back and hit as many of them as we can go toward the end. I'll also try to call out a few of them if they fit in live with whatever I'm covering. So please, Cameron, if you could keep an eye out on that, I'd appreciate it. I know we have a lot to cover, you guys. We've got a little over an hour here today, so I do want to just jump right in. To kick things off, I'd like to get a read on the room and see where everybody is at. Recently, I spoke at an AI marketing conference where a top engineer from OpenAI, which is the parent company of ChatGPT, he told the audience that only like 10% of the world has ever even opened a tool like ChatGPT before. I was a little surprised. Think about that. 10% of the world. I mean, to me, I thought everybody has opened up and used ChatGPT before. And then in that same room, he said that, and this is a room of marketers, mind you. So he said this number would be higher. He asked the audience, how many people have ever used a tool like ChatGPT? So everybody there obviously raised their hand. And I'm going to ask all of you, how many people in this room have used ChatGPT before? Let me know in the chat. Naturally, everybody's going to raise their hand. Obviously, lots of these. Somebody said no. I can't believe that. But here's what got me. The next question was, who has ever used an AI tool like ChatGPT to actually generate some sort of income? And if you guys have, type a 1 in the chat if you have, type a 2 in the chat if you have not. I see a lot of 1s coming in. I'm a little surprised. I see a lot of 2s. Okay. Now, this room that I was in had close to 1,000 people. And to me, the results were surprising because it was a room of marketers. Can anybody guess what the percentage was of people that have actually made money with this, with AI? I'm going to give an Amazon gift card to somebody if they have a solid. I see Francis. Cameron, good luck. Francis, we're going to go back to the recording. We're going to send you an Amazon gift card because you were fast on the fingers, Johnny on the spot. How many people are here? Jesus, 385. 10% of the room had actually made a monetary gain from using AI, which to me is staggering. I think everybody should be profiting from it. So regardless of if you have or if you haven't made any sort of cash flow with money or with AI, you are in the right place because the purpose of this masterclass is to help you do exactly that. Make more money and save more time using AI. Essentially, by the time you guys leave here, I want you to feel inspired, like I've unlocked your potential with this whole AI thing. So we can move you over into camp number 2 as somebody who is profiting from the AI boom. Number 1, number 2? Either way, you know what I'm talking about. Because while most people are keeping an eye on AI, anybody know anyone who is like keeping an eye on AI before they actually make a move and do something about it? People in my circle, like Benel here, says he got 4 new clients this week. Special thanks to me for pressurizing him, his words, not mine, with the accountability emails. And you know, sometimes that's all it takes. It's just someone to help keep on you. When you guys agree, keeping you motivated to take action. Sometimes it's just needing to be told exactly what to do. Sometimes it's both. So for any of those people who are still sitting on the fence with AI, if you haven't got the message yet, let this presentation today be it, loud and clear. one more time that this AI boom thing, this thing is happening right now. And we are early. We are early. It is an exciting time because people like me, I'm not some genius. I'm just a regular guy. In fact, I used to be a mechanic. I work on cars for a living. Juan Ritchie, the guy on this call, he's a carpenter. I did some crappy construction for that guy at some point back in the day. And today I've obviously done more than that, which is why I'm going to be showing you how I went from pretty much a broke mechanic to now using AI to build me the second fastest growing company in Hawaii. And I just want to take a moment to seriously thank God for AI. And I'm not really religious. I'm more spiritual than anything. But stick with me here. Hear me out for a second. I got this message from Jimmy Harrell, and I hope he's on the call. I know he's on the call. He says he's made over $10,700 in 2 months following some of the methods that I'm going to be sharing with you today on today's training. And he closed off by saying, thank God for you. And I want to respond to Jimmy by saying, thank God for AI. Because the fact that AI exists, I really just feel like it leveled the playing field for most people, because it used to be that running this type of online business was off limits for those who didn't speak technical as their first language. Anybody here feel like that? Running an online business, building a remote company, felt a little off limits, like maybe you were handcuffed to the technical issues that maybe you, or challenges that you maybe faced. But now with AI, it's made it possible for a guy like me, Hawaii public school system graduate, barely graduated, worst test scores in the country, by the way, no college degree, no online work experience, a fighting chance to become a millionaire with this business model. So hopefully there are no AI doomsday people here on this training watching this freaking out because of this slide, but I do really feel grateful for the opportunity that AI has brought upon us. For those of you that may not know me very well, or maybe you're a little new here, here's a quick little bit about me. My journey, like I said, I'm a former mechanic, now turned AI marketer from Maui, Hawaii. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and my wife, Sloan, and I were expecting another baby girl in a couple of months here. Crazy. I'm a family man, but in my free time, back when I had free time, I liked to surf, golf. I do CrossFit pretty much every day and mostly think about work and online business strategies. Those are the things that I'm interested in. If I had to choose one of the 4 hobbies that I love most, I would probably choose business. I love the game of business. I'm addicted to it. I sleep it. I breathe it. I live it every single day. For the last month while creating this presentation, I was telling Cameron the other day, I've been up in the middle of the night, most nights, just thinking about this. Oh, I got to add this slide. This would be great. I'm going to do this thing. And so I'm very passionate about it. And I hope you guys can see that in the presentation that I'm sharing with you today. So from the time that I wake up in the morning, I'm pretty much dedicated to my family, growing my business, and a couple of things to keep my mental health in check. And so I'm trying to constantly become a smarter, better businessman, because in doing this, I've been able to build a life that I am truly grateful for. You know, I didn't grow up rich. I grew up relatively poor, actually. My parents struggled to pay the mortgage. We were always worried about losing our home. And I don't want to go too deep into that stuff, but I'm sharing a little bit, getting a little vulnerable with you all here today, because I was recently able to purchase what I consider to be my dream home in Maui, which is arguably the most expensive state in this country to live. That's it on the left there. I also have a sizable real estate portfolio with a bunch of rentals in Hawaii and Washington. Now, why am I talking about real estate on an AI cash flow call? Well, the truth is, I don't really like talking about it that much. I don't really like flexing. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm honestly pretty private. One piece I don't really like about making content online is that you have to almost seemingly fight or flex to fight the algorithm and get attention. In any case, I'm only sharing with you today to qualify myself as someone who has successfully built some solid wealth through these skills that I have developed online, which 10 years ago, when I was getting started, was not nearly as easy as it is today in this day and age with the AI boom. And I'm going to be making sure to go through all of that so that you guys feel exactly the same way. Now, as I said, I want to qualify myself because my real estate portfolio only came to fruition because years ago, I started a marketing agency that was called Nick Ponte Marketing. Today, it's known as Mina Marketing. It is the leading AI marketing agency in the entire state. You can see some of the images of my team and I here on a retreat that we're on in Florence, Italy. This is us outside of our office building in Honolulu. And, you know, we were recently recognized as the second fastest growing in Hawaii, and it's all because of the AI boom. I'm going to be talking a lot about that today. Now, with Mina Marketing, We work with small businesses. This has been my bread and butter for the last 10 years. I've worked with over 500 businesses throughout the state, from big companies to small companies and everything in between. And people always push me to make this distinction very clear, because I train people, I teach people, I show you guys what I'm doing, right, in this actual business. But when I show you my revenue and my numbers and things like that, just know that I'm always talking about this company, right? I'm not talking about anything to do with my YouTube channel or affiliate stuff that I do, or software sales or any of that stuff. Although I have a pretty solid track record and I have a lot of experience in doing this, just know that I'm not one of those guys that mixes the two. I hate those guys. I think it's really lame to talk about course sales and tell people that this is what they should do, but they sell courses. So I do have quite a bit of a proven track record, I would say, though, in cultivating success online. And it just comes down to helping people do what I'm doing, So my strategies work very well. They've been featured in publications like Forbes, Inc. magazine. I was nominated Hawaii Business Leader of the Year. I've spent over $4.3 million in Google Ads. I just saw that stat the other day, which is crazy. Collectively generated 4 million plus myself. And again, I share all this not with you to brag, but to qualify myself that I actually do these things. I mean, in order to do this, to get these, to get to where I'm at, you have to be doing something right. And I know it's safe to say that I would not be where I'm at today without many of you, people on this webinar, people that have had some sort of win from something that I have shown you or taught you or created. Put a win in the chat if that is true. I know a lot of you are new. I know a lot of people have been around, seen my stuff for a long time. Let me know in the chat if I have helped you make some money online, land a new client, given you some information that unlocked a constraint or obstacle to get to the next level. Holy crap. I see the chat blowing up. Can we record? Can we get a screen recording of that real quick, Cameron, while that's going up? That is crazy. I'm feeling the love. I appreciate you guys all for showing up and sharing that. Now, these are the real numbers that matter to me. One of the core values of my company is we win together. And what that means is I win when you guys win. So within my community, we've verified and validated that we've collected over $5.8 million of revenue from people in our community. Got over 3,000 success stories. These are just the people that chime in to actually tell us. And so, the only way that I've been able to do what I've done is by people actually taking action. So I'm just excited for you guys all to be here and know that the information that I'm sharing with you, it works because I'm actually doing it. I'm in the trenches, and this is the stuff that is working. And so this is going to be somewhat of a sci-fi pivot for you all. Where are my sci-fi people on this call? We're about to get real sci-fi for a second. You guys ever seen that movie, Dune 1, Dune 2? Somebody says that's a ton of results. Lots of love. Ivan. Okay. This is a pivot. You guys know that giant sandworm from Dune? That giant sandworm to me is the AI boom. It's clear. AI is not a trend. It is a force. If you've ever seen Dune, you know the sandworm. If you haven't seen Dune, this is the sandworm. It is a massive, relentless, unstoppable force. It doesn't slow down for no one or nothing. It doesn't ask permission. It consumes everything in its path. That is AI. It's coming for programmers, knowledge workers, service providers, small business owners, and nothing is going to stop it. It's here. The genie is out of the bottle. And so for all of us here right now, and all the small business owners out there, we have two choices. We can either, one, stand still, get swallowed by this sandworm, ignore it, downplay it, wait and see, and watch the opportunity, or maybe our existing business disappear, get taken down by our competitors. Or, like in Dune, we can learn to ride the sandworm, like Paul, aka Timmy Chalamet right there. In Dune, he and his people, his tribe, they ride the worm. They weaponize it. They don't fight the force. They use it to their advantage. So I say to everybody here, AI can either replace you or become your most valuable asset like it has for me. But doing nothing, that is, at least for people in my tribe, that is not an option. And again, I don't just tell people this stuff. I'm a practitioner. I lead by example. Working with small businesses, that is my bread and butter. Small businesses like this, this company, for example, this one's paying us $13,000 a month. This happens to be a pest control company. They've been paying us on repeat. So selling services to small businesses during the AI boom has become easier than it has ever been before, because you can see at this bottom of this invoice, there's a new package here called GEO, which you guys know that when ChatGPT recommends a business to you, that process of being recommended is called generative engine optimization. So if you're a business and you're not being recommended by ChatGPT, obviously you're missing out. And so working with small businesses and helping them develop their online visibility is what we call a massive blue ocean opportunity, which is when a new technology or shift creates a market where the demand is exploding, but the competition hasn't really caught up yet. So that's where we're at with the AI boom, right? That's exactly what we were doing. Small businesses who have not started using AI tools and tactics, they're quickly becoming outdated, and helping them with their AI marketing has really become the new frontier. And so selling services like you see here, which I'm showing you on this page, it's been easier than it has been ever before in the last 10 years. Because if you think about it, almost every business owner right now has this one thing going on in their mind when they lay in bed at night. They have what I'm calling AI guilt. AI guilt is that low-key pressure in the back of your mind. You might have this, where your competitors are using AI. You see your social media feed is full of 17-year-old influencers that are making $10,000 a month with prompts. Every podcast you hear says that you're already behind, and you're sitting there thinking, I know I should be doing something, but I just don't know where to start. That is the AI guilt. And I'm going to give you the easiest one-liner that you can use to open and start a conversation with any business owner. I want you guys to write this down. Next time you're in a business or speaking to an owner, just ask this question. Just ask this question. Do you know if AI tools like ChatGPT are recommending your business for service here in Maui? So fill in the blank for, barbershops here in Maui, kayak tours here in Maui. Put your location, put your area. The vast majority of them are going to say, I don't know, I hope so. How can I do that? That is the way you crack the door open. And it is that simple. People in my community will report and share with you that right now, it's the time to be saying stuff like this. Because again, back to the guilt. Most business owners, they know it exists, but they have no idea where to start. And I'm not the only one cashing in on this, right? This is John. He says he just got off the phone with a solar client halfway across the country, monthly recurring pay for all the tools and then some. I just needed a proof of concept. My mind is blown. And so why is this working so well right now, this opener? Because of where we're at in the AI boom. The reason we are getting the responses we are now is because of the cycle. As I said, we are early. Most people don't realize it yet, but we're approaching the greatest time ever to be making money online and growing a business. The world is warming up to AI at a massive rate. Just look at the stages of awareness by Eugene Schwartz. Has anybody heard of Eugene Schwartz? He's like one of the OG goats of advertising. In fact, he wrote a book called Breakthrough Advertising that is referred to as gospel when it comes to direct response marketing in the advertising world. Within this book, Eugene said, or he laid out a framework rather, that to this day is used by almost everybody. It's responsible for generating billions of dollars, I'm sure, but we can apply it to where we're at today. The framework is called the 5 stages of awareness. Okay, the 5 stages of awareness represent where somebody is at in terms of being aware of buying a product or a service, or at least for this use case, that's the example I'm going to give to you. We're talking about using AI tools that already exist on behalf of outdated business owners so we can get paid in the process, right? So on the left-hand side, you have people who are completely unaware that AI exists. They're unaware that they need to solve this problem, or their problem exists, that other people are out there using AI to grow their business and solve their problems. These are the people who are not going to give you a yes, essentially, right? They don't know about it. And on the right-hand side, you have people who are most aware. They know of your product. They know what it does. They just haven't gotten around to purchasing it yet. And so in between that, people gradually grow from being unaware to most aware. Most aware people are ready to open up their wallet right now and give you the money to solve the problem that they have. Now, right now, everyday people are going from, I don't trust the AI, to how do I use this AI thing? They are warming up on a global scale How do I know this? I mean, anybody watch the Super Bowl? You see Anthropic's Super Bowl ads, OpenAI Super Bowl ads. That is an example of mass adoption. You know, the Super Bowl is one of the most televised sporting events in the United States. It probably is in the United States, but in the world. And so when you see these AI companies putting in commercials into the event, you don't just have one person who is becoming unaware that AI, or most aware that AI is something that they should be getting into. You have people on a global scale asking questions like, maybe I should look at this AI thing. What's actually happening with this AI thing? Maybe I should circle back to this. Okay. And when that shift happens, you guys, you see everybody warming up to becoming problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. They're literally waiting around for somebody to show up who can solve this problem for them. And that's what we're seeing. So if you use the tactics that I'm going to give you in this training, you can have some of the easiest emails, DMs, conversations you'll have ever had convincing people to pay you, even if you've never made $1 online before. Or if you're running your own business, you can use these tactics for yourself. So you can be like David, who said he's brand new. He's also a chef. He's got a meeting with the landscape company to close up on a $2,000 setup and a $500 a month voice agent. He says he's only 2 weeks in, and he's also creating or closing 2 real estate deals to an industrial service company. He says he basically just does what Nick says and is working pretty okay with no following or no reviews. So who is brand new with no following or reviews? Follow along. And because this is the whole world, you guys, warming up to AI at a global scale right now, we're having mainstream massive adoption. I mean, in my mind, the visual is clear, right? Back to the sandworm analogy. This is David. That AI sandworm, it's approaching. We are early right now. We have the opportunity to ride it to win. Remember, only 10% of the world has ever logged into a tool like ChatGPT. I'm spending a lot of time on the opportunity right now, you guys, because it is that moment. It is that moment. Do nothing and it'll pass you by. Or the first step is to continue to follow me on this masterclass. I've got you covered. Okay. So here's how we're going to get moving and taking action. When you ride the AI worm, you have incredible speed. When you harness AI, you can do things like create faster, research faster, write faster, build offers faster, automate leads, finding sales faster. Some of you might already be experiencing this stuff. But speed without structure creates chaos. Anybody just feel like you're loving AI, you're creating lots of cool stuff, but a lot of the time you feel like you might just be spinning in circles? So many things, so many shiny objects. Are you copy and pasting ChatGPT ideas and outputs somewhere to a graveyard of documents in Google Drive? Lots of ideas. For most people, they're not really materializing into much. I remember feeling that way. And this is where most people mess up. Most people stay in this mode. They stay in chaos mode. They stay in tool mode. They stay in research mode. Anybody feel like they're in tool mode? Learning prompts, testing features, trying hacks, but never really installing a true system to generate cash flow regularly? I was there. I see lots of yeps. Don't be shame, you guys. Put it in the chat. We're all there. We're leveling up today. Without a system, you guys, there is no stacking $3,000 a month deals. I see the chat blowing up because a lot of people agree. And how do I know this? Because I've been there, right? I'm with you. So to make the system as easy as possible for yourself, you guys, you really want to minimize the scope of what you need. You don't need every single tool out there. You actually need to filter out the stuff that is not necessary for your goal. If you want to ride the sandworm, you really only need 3 things. You need a way to find opportunities, you need a way to package value, and you need a way to automate some of that stuff, right? Automate your execution. I'm about to give you some methods to package value, some foot in the door strategies. If you guys follow me on YouTube, you know that's what I'm all about. I love sharing that type of content on YouTube. But without these 3 things, you guys, AI stays as entertainment. With those things, AI becomes your superpower. So we have to be able to filter out all the stuff that is just necessary. So before we talk about tactics, we need an operating environment, somewhere to do all those things. One place, not scattered, an environment that takes all the best stuff from all the AI tools out there and it gives it to us in a user interface that's easy to use for non-techie people to actually be able to use AI to make money. And so for me, that operating environment is called Go High Level. Now, real talk, this is not a webinar designed to get you here to pitch Go High Level. Full transparency. I have something else that I want to share with you at the end of this call. But Go High Level just happens to be the platform that I run my business on because it makes making money and growing businesses very simple. And so if you already use something else, that's fine. You can use whatever you want, whatever stack works for you. But while you follow along this training, this is what I'm going to be using. You can use what you use. But for everybody else, Go High Level is an all-in-one software suite. It is specifically built, if you've never heard about this tool before, it's specifically built to grow small businesses. And it combines over 15 core tools for a low price and dozens of supporting ones into one dashboard. And they're constantly adding in new capabilities, especially around AI. And what I like about it is it makes things simple, right? I don't have to focus on learning all the new tools. I just have the one tool that I know is designed for working with small businesses and helping on-ramp them to AI. And so they do the hard work of filtering this out. They're very good at just incorporating the stuff that is relevant to growing small businesses. So when you use High Level, you don't have to actually think about it anymore. They're just built into one place. And as I said, I know some of you have heard of High Level before. A lot of you probably already use it, which is great. But if you don't, I've arranged a 30-day free trial account for you, specifically for this masterclass, which normally they don't offer a 30-day trial. It's just a couple of days normally, but I've got 30 days for you. So you can build alongside this training. You'll also get a one-on-one VIP kickoff call emailed to you when you sign up, so you can have somebody help you get it set up correctly while you follow along in this training. And if you've tried High Level before, you guys, in the past and bounced off of it, stick with me. You may want to give it another shot after watching this training because I've got some fresh new gear that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Because the reality is, once I started using High Level, this is actually the reason my company grew by 257% year over year for 3 years. And we were recognized as the second fastest growing company in Hawaii. I actually started using it in 2019 and wasn't totally convinced myself. I didn't talk to anybody about it. I just started incorporating it. And as I said, it just made getting paid by small businesses a lot easier. We could charge more because the things we sold were more polished. The clients paid monthly invoices for more months because the service became more sticky. And then all of the AI features that came in along the way have made it a lot easier to make money and get attention from small businesses. And so that's exactly what this is for, because I use it as my system. I'm sharing it with you today. And, that's what I'm talking about. So you don't need to make it more difficult on yourself.